Oh, goodness. Hello, friends. I'm still sitting at my bar, and I've made some more progress. I got a shelf up. I've got like another glass shelf. I've got, what do you call that? I got a little shelf in here for all my bitters and stuff, which shelf's like that wide, and I filled it up. So I had more bitters than I thought I did. And I got more glasses, which, depending on the camera you're looking at, I got more glasses hanging up, which is really nice. I thought I lost them for a little bit. So I was really sick last week, but I really wanted to start sharing and start doing videos. So I made a video about a hot toddy. Sorry, I'm playing a little cap right there. And yeah, I was not feeling great, which is why I needed the hot toddy and wanted to do a video about it. And I missed so much. So very briefly, I'll lace in that video right after this. Hot toddy, kind of a checkered history on it, like a lot of old cocktails, but it is an old time cocktail. Goes back to as far as the 1600s in India, where there is a roughly translated, they would say taddy, T-A-D-Y or T-A-D-D-Y, and that was a warm drink made from fermented palm sap. And so a lot of histories, if you go look it up on the internet, will say, oh, it came from that, and then the British occupied India, brought it back to um, to Europe, and made it into the hot toddy that we know and enjoy today. There's lots of other theories or ideas, but the earliest documented hot toddy was from 1736, I believe, and throughout the 1700s, it spread through Europe and the New Worlds. And so the all the ones that come after that seem to be hmm, riffs on any recipe that could have been, and most of them, including the original Indian version, the ones coming from the early 1700s, all say hot water, some kind of sweetener, usually some kind of alcohol, spices, and most of those spices would have come from India. So I'm leaning towards the idea that it's most likely originated in India. There's one that's saying an Irish doctor, Robert Henry Todd, invented it and he prescribed it to his patients. I'm sure he prescribed it to his patients. His last name is Todd, so Toddy. Adding the Y to it to make a drink. That sounds like a fairly bartender cocktail. I created a cocktail. I'm going to name after myself kind of thing to do. So I don't doubt that he prescribed them. I don't think he invented the drink itself. But I do like that it's basically just, let's add a Y. That's my drink. Delicious. Um, there will say that a lot of recipes call for whiskey. I'm very much a brandy person. I mentioned that in the video after this. The main reason why, though, besides just I think the flavor is better, is that brandy holds up to heat. Brandy glasses, the little chalices, the goblets that you get, snifters, are meant to be held with the foot below. This tea is very hot, and your hand warming the bowl of the glass, so you get the vapors and the espers, the scent of that brandy coming out. So you want that. And so when you do that in a hot toddy, you get more of those flavors and more of that wonderful. I want to call it scent-laced experience. Whatever the vocab word for that is. I think it just holds up better. When it's Scotch, I think depending on the Scotch, can be too smoky. When it's whiskey, it actually kind of fades. It's almost too hot, and you lose a lot. To me, you lose a lot of that essence. I think maybe an Irish whiskey, if we're going back to Robert Henry Todd, be fantastic because those tend to be a bit more balanced, or compared to a Scotch, they can be almost kind of sweet, and they tend to have more spice notes that come out because they're not as harsh as a Scotch might be or as an American whiskey, to me. But that's my little rant and brief history on the hot toddy. They're fantastic. They got me through many a shift, many a sick time, and I hope you get the chance to enjoy one soon as it's starting very on the early ends or beginnings. Sorry, early beginnings of the chilly season, the ends of the warm season. Cheers. Hey there, friends. How y'all doing? If you can see, I've been making progress on the Wasted Knowledge bar, formerly a closet. I put up another shelf. Got some of my glasses up there. I can't find half my glasses, but that's part of the problem with moving is you tend to lose your stuff sometimes. If you can't tell, I also feel like but I've been sick all weekend. But I want to make progress in the bar, and I want to make a little video just to let you all know that I'm still alive and still making it. And one of my favorite things from working in the restaurant when I didn't feel great is just a good old hot toddy. And I remember that being a pretty big controversy when I moved down south. Because everyone's like, "Oh, you got to make whiskey hot toddy, whiskey hot toddy." Yeah, not my favorite. I've had both. I think brandy or cognac is the way to go with the hot toddy. The better the brandy you can get, the better. You start with honey, about an ounce. So it's actually probably about an ounce and a half. My bad. Hot water, lemon juice, brandy. That's it. Very, very simple. If you can warm up your glass before you start the process, that just kind of helps everything combine and keep your drink warmer for longer. Put your honey in first, if you can, because that's going to help with mixing everything together. So I like to put a little bit of hot water in there. It's about 2 ounces. Give it a good stir to let it kind of combine. There we go. Leave it along. As soon as you see all the honey come up off the sides, that's about good for where you want to be. Got about an ounce of lemon juice. You can use a little bit less if you find an ounce to be too tart, and you try to keep that seed from going in there. There we go. Stir again. Usually it's an ounce and a half of brandy. I'm using 2 because I don't feel good. You know, and then top it off with hot water. There you go. That's my favorite version of the hot toddy. Put a lemon wedge or a twist on top. I'm feeling the twist tonight. And there you go. That has gotten me through more shifts than I would care to admit to. But cheers, everyone. Enjoy. By the way, this won't heal you or anything. It'll make your throat feel better. It'll make you feel like you're going to get through a shift, and then you are going to crash. So don't use this as any kind of curative tonic, more of a get you through kind of deal. Be safe, y'all. Bye.